Welcome everybody, it's RustyMoney here. This is a channel full of live streams, challenges, let's plays, and more. So I hope you enjoy this next creation. Welcome back everybody to another episode of Krusty's Homestead Survival Challenge here on Ladyhill with your good friend RustyMoney. So I believe this is like episode 7. So hard to believe that we have made it this far. And recently, I found in my email that I had 250,000 views now on YouTube. Yeah, that stretches over a long period of time, but you know what? I just do this for the fun of it, so it is what it is. I might not be famous or anything, but hey, at least you must enjoy some of my content. So thank you to each and every one of you for supporting the channel. I also was kinda hoping that my channel would reach like 2,500 subscribers before Christmas. We're like about 200 and some away from that, so not too bad, but I don't know if we'll make it. It would be really cool to make it. I even think that I have really thought about putting out another giveaway for anybody that would live in the States anyway, because I don't want to deal with extra fees and all that. I apologize for that, but shipping over across the pond or outside the United States, because I can't even imagine what that would cost, and I have no clue. But yeah, I'm really thinking about doing another giveaway if the channel did reach 2,500 subscribers by Christmas. So, getting back to the play here on Ladyhill, everybody. I've done a lot of work off camera. I've just really enjoyed this series. So I've done a tremendous amount of mowing contracts and all kinds of contracts, really. I even did a baling contract for straw. Did some work here on my little homestead with just moving, you know, your daily work along, if you will, like keeping up with the water on the greenhouses, because I'm not using any water pumps or anything. I'm filling the greenhouses with you know, my abilities that we have to fill the greenhouses with, which is a little water trailer. And spread some fertilizer on some fields, and yeah, just did some mowing. Did a couple of other things as well. But anyway, we are now in August, and we have reached harvest time. Alright, yeah, we've reached harvest time. So I did harvest my sorghum field, and we will show you what we got off of that. Actually, you will see what we got off of that. I haven't harvested the oat field yet. I thought I'd do the oat field as a part of this episode, hopefully. I don't know if we'll jump cut it or what we will do. But we do have an oat field to harvest. I harvested this grass field along with the surrounding grass around this field area. Took a few loads to my silage bunkers. Kind of split it between the two so we can show you now what we have in our silage bunkers. So in my silage bunker here, we have another 32,000 liters of grass to ferment to silage. So let's go ahead and we will activate that one. Oops, that's the wrong one. Grass silage. Sorry, not chaff silage. Okay, and then our other one also has another 32,000 liters. So they are very similar, and the amount is that's in each one. So let's activate this one too. Now, the reason I again chose two of them is then if I chose to sell the product from one of them, we could sell the product and then we could use the product from the other bunker for our cattle, because we are going to make total mixed ration for the cows. That is my goal anyway. I want to do total mixed ration. I just love feeding the cattle with total mixed ration instead of either grass, hay, or silage, or all of those three, whichever. So we also, when I cut this grass area, so I kind of had said that I was splitting some of it up between the two silage bunkers, but now I've kind of left the inner part of this field here that we are going to turn into hay. Yeah, we was gonna make hay bales, and so why am I windrowing this? Oh my goodness, everybody. Yeah, I got a little off track here. I think we might windrow it all. Let's just windrow it all, and then we will maybe consider whether I want to do what do I want to say? Whether I want to do all of this then to hay, because we do have hay bales in our bale shed there, our bale and pallet shed. Not even sure how much we have in there. That is probably what we should look at. Let's shut this off. We can actually run over there and just see what we do have, because I don't even know exactly what we have in there. 4 hay bales. Oh, I did get another pallet of eggs, I believe, and my other pallet of lettuce in here now. So we have all of the lettuce, tomatoes, and strawberries. We technically need one more pallet of eggs to make it 5, because I'm trying to stick with Krusty's original goal anyway. So we've got 22 bales of hay at 6,000 liters each. So that is actually quite a bit of hay. And I still got a partial bale of hay over here, which is just over 2,000 liters of hay. And I think that's all I got. Well, then I got 2 straw bales off of a contract from my baler. So we got a 7,000 liter bale. Then we've got a 1,800 liter bale because I put some more straw in the cow shed. So I don't know. I don't know if we really need to do that whole thing. 2 hay bales? I'm not sure exactly what I should do here because I'm not sure what we're gonna need. I just know we're probably gonna need a lot of feed just from watching our friend Krusty do this challenge so far. It really does look like you're gonna need it quite a bit. So I tell you what I think I'm gonna do here is I think I'm gonna go ahead and we'll make one more windrow of grass, and then we will potentially make the rest of this to hay. Although, you know, I did do that sorghum harvest over there on that field in the corner, and I got the field reworked off camera, and I put in a little square grass field. So maybe off the first cutting of that, we should just do hay. So yeah, let's just do that. We'll finish this cutting off this field to silage, because I think we really need more silage than we do hay to make TMR. So I mean, it's actually about equal. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get this finished windrowing. I think I'm going to finish windrowing this off camera. Maybe bring you back in for, you know, for picking the grass up, or the end of the picking the grass up. But what we do need to do and show you before we do break away briefly is what we got off that sorghum harvest. So it's right there. Now remember, I'm playing without crop destruction, so we can drive wherever we want. It's just how I want to play. So apologies to those that don't approve of that. But here we are. We've got a load of 8,000 liters of sorghum, and for right now I'm gonna put this in my silo. This is gonna be in keeping, I believe, for either flour or also feeding pigs. And I think my goal is for probably feed, because we're gonna need it for not only the pigs but also the chickens. Alright, so let's put this in this silo. Now the other thing I need to keep in consideration as well is this silo I'm using only holds 100,000 liters of total product. And I know that I got quite a bit left of storage in there, but we might have to implement another silo at some point on the little homestead. Yeah. Alright, now let's go get the rest of what is in our Massey Ferguson harvester. Now the other thing too is that just comes to my mind here is I don't think I ever shared with you why I chose the equipment I chose. Well, I chose the brands of equipment so far in this challenge because not only did I want to do something different than my usual case equipment, but I looked on Google to see kind of what the most popular brands of equipment were kind of in Ireland, because I believe this map is kind of set around the Irish background. And so those two major popular brands were John Deere and Massey Ferguson. There's also some Case and a couple of other different brands, but some of the more popular brands are actually John Deere and Massey Ferguson in Ireland. Okay, so now let's go here, and you'll see. So we ended up with, we've got another 1,636 liters here. We got 9,636 liters of sorghum off of this field over here that I harvested off camera. That's not too bad, I don't believe. That's pretty decent. Now, there is just a lot to think about for the future of this gameplay in this challenge created by our friend Crustu Farms on YouTube. A lot of things to think about. Yeah. A lot of things to think about on what crops we should even be planting next. You know, I kind of spaced off the whole thing that we gotta, I believe in like year 3, we gotta be able to make like canola oil or something, I think. And then we got preserved foods and all kinds of things. So I'm actually trying to think about this in the aspect of doing a whole variety of different crops. And I also thought, you know what? I don't need just that one grass field. Maybe I need more. I've been watching Crustu, and it seems like Crustu was kind of getting concerned about his amount of bales and stuff he had kept for his cows, and then sold his equipment and wasn't doing any more, you know, harvesting of grass. So I thought, you know, we harvested that sorghum field. Maybe I need to consider putting in a quick little grass field over there and getting a cutting off of it at least before we need to, you know, plant a new actual like cereal crop or something in that field. So that's why I went ahead with another grass field even, and if I get a good cutting off of it, that's gonna be really helpful. Alright, well now we're gonna start cutting this oat field here, and I think what I'm gonna do with these oats is these oats are gonna be used in, we need to make sure we're dropping a straw swath. What button is it here? There, I think I got it finally. I always forget the button function on console for turning on and turning off the straw swath. But yeah, I think I'm gonna use all of these oats to make flour from our grain mill. So my oats will really be used, I believe, just for the production of flour. So we'll be hanging on to whatever we get out of this and making flour, because I think oats can potentially produce a decent amount of flour. So that's what we're gonna go with. Now hopefully, I didn't even look. Oh, thank goodness, we can make oat flour from our new grain mill. Okay, that is good. We also then can make canola oil as well. Okay. Alright, well that is a good thing then, that we know that we can make oat flour out of that grain mill. And we'll be picking up the straw here. Well, we're going to be making bales of straw, I think, for our livestock barns. We're going to have to do some bales of straw. There is a production point that I was considering using for total mix ration, but I think I'm gonna look at it off camera just so I can study it a little bit more. I really think I'm gonna implement it, but that's the thing is if it requires straw, I don't know if I'll use it. I'm thinking about, I just want to make a total mix ration just from silage and hay, and forget the straw, because we kind of need the straw for bedding for our cow barn and the future, the future of our pig barn. Well, I am recording this first part of this episode, everybody, on Tuesday over my lunch hour. I didn't really eat much for lunch other than a little cup of yogurt because at break time at work, our parts manager bought some breakfast pizza for break time for everybody at the dealership. And the breakfast pizza from our local convenience store, the pieces of breakfast pizza are huge. So I had a piece of that as well as a brownie. One of the other parts department guys brought a couple of pans of brownies because he won the split the pot in football, and I also was the other person that won split the pot in football this last weekend for Husker football. We had the number 9, so we won. We split the pot, yeah. And how do they play that? Well, it's the two scores between the two teams, the last two digits added together. And I can't remember what the score of the Huskers game was, but whatever it was, the last two digits of the Huskers score and the opposing team's score added up to the number 9. So that is why I won, and why the other guy I work with won the other half of the pot as well, because they choose 2 winners. Or I should say, they let people draw. They have enough people playing split the pot that they have 2 drawings from a deck of cards. Alright, well, now I think I'm gonna probably continue here, everybody. I'm probably gonna jump cut this. I don't know. I might time lapse the rest of this oat harvest. We will see, but I am gonna stop the recording here briefly because I gotta get back to work from lunch break. But you will see more after this short break in the recording. So hopefully you all enjoy what comes in the rest of this episode. We will see you very soon. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse, a shorter time lapse of a little bit of harvesting work and such. But now I started to pick up the straw off of the oat harvest, and wow, I'm a little unsatisfied, not very pleased with how many oats we got off this field. I thought this field was a pretty decent sized field and we'd get a little bit more than 5,000 liters of oats. Well, with the straw, we are going to do something with the straw. So we're going to place something over at our little farm. So let's do that now. And what we are going to do is we're going to place another production point. I've never used it. My friend Looney the Farm Guy has a great review on it. And we're going to use this TMR mixer. Now it says it produces the TMR fast, but it's not like if you put the TMR in a feed wagon, it goes pretty good pace too. So I'm just going to use it because I like the looks of this and how it blends in with what we're doing. And I'm going to try and put it here. Hopefully it doesn't, connect with the dump points on my silage pits. So we'll put this here and see what happens. Okay, 15,000 is what that costed. So let's take a look at it in the menus. Okay, so it looks like it's not having any collision issue with our two silage bunkers, so that is a very good thing. So now what we need to do is we need to get the stuff in there to make our TMR for our cattle, especially into year 2. So like what you saw there. It takes hay, mineral feed, silage, and straw. So we will be allowing myself to buy the mineral feed, of course, from the store for that production. Yeah, there is another production point that I have decided I am going to use. I believe I've seen that it does produce a little quicker, but I think I might implement it. It's another production that makes multiple things. Yeah, we'll decide. We'll see what happens. But let's get our load of straw in there. I'll fix the painting and the decorations around that probably off camera, but let's get some straw in there. We'll at least know how much it holds for straw. Well, it probably did say, didn't it? Holds 250,000 liters of each. Ooh, wow. Plus holds 250,000 liters of TMR. Ooh, wow. It's got a large capacity then. Okay. Yeah, so then I started to kind of include some of the rest of the finish up of the grass harvest in the time lapse, and it just got to be too long. So I took out that, so you'll probably see a very short time lapse of the finish of the oat field with the dumping of the amount of oats we got, which was just over 5,000. Yeah, you can see here we got 5,608 liters of oats. That was it. That's all I got off that field. Not too pleased about that. We got $64,000 now with what we, what we can do or what we need to do. I need to figure out what other production points I want to use. But we'll figure that out. Yeah, there's another one that costs about 55,000, I think. And I think I'm gonna just go ahead and just use it. I'm tired of this whole thing of deciding, well, it produces too fast, and and even the fact of I've had this other mod installed forever and never used it once. I'm like, then why do I even have it installed? So I think we're gonna place it here, but I've got a little bit of a kind of role play, I guess, or story, if you will, as to why I chose to use it. Yeah, you'll see that probably, hopefully, get placed here in the next episode. Just trying to build up the homestead before we get into like the next year. The other thing we really need to consider is I need to consider these field sizes. I thought more fields with about the same average size would be better. But I'm kind of discovering maybe not. I'm kind of thinking we might need multiple fields. Try and make them as close as we can to the same size, but hopefully bigger. I don't know, I just know that these 3 crop fields down here just aren't very big. We might have to use up some of our grass between the fields because we do got like 9 meters in between the fields there that we could add about 3 rows per field probably, just have a little strip of area between the fields. I just like to have the break point between the fields. Yeah, so there is a future plan of redesigning the field layout, but I'm trying to get our little homestead a little bit more finished, if you will, before we do that. So I can kind of see in my head what direction we need to go with field sizes. And wow, we're not even getting very much straw for this field either. There's a baling contract here currently that's available. I really would like to try and take up that baling contract because even if I get a 2 bale bonus, that will be helpful because it doesn't make me give up the bales that are created in my square baler. So on the last baling contract I got 2 complete bales, which was nice. Alright, so let's get this into that production. We can start, well, we don't need to start making the TMR yet, but we can get prepared for it anyway. Alright, let's dump this in there. I really like the design of that. It's just really different. And I thought, it kind of looks like a kind of redneckish. Kind of redneckish on a little homestead, Make something with what you got type of thing. So yeah, we're gonna make TMR out of that thing, and it does produce fast, so just remember that. But it's not like when you use a feed wagon, it's gonna produce right away too, and that cost maybe a little less than some feed wagons, but yeah, we're just gonna use it. I'm tired of deciding what we should and shouldn't use. And the biggest reason I'm gonna use it is because I like the appearance of it and how it blends in with everything I got going on here. Now, I do realize that we're all kind of referring this as a homestead, but that's what Crustu chose to call this challenge, was Crustu's Homestead Survival Challenge. And I like it, you know. Yeah, this might not look like a little homestead from back in the days of the old TV show called Little House on the Prairie, but I mean, really, this is a little farm in my opinion. It's just got a lot on it because we're playing a game. It's not like real life. Because, I mean, you would have like a place to store your bales. You would have silage bunkers. I mean, you would have small little animal pens, which that's what I got currently, is all small. Really, the biggest capacity I got for animals is my chicken barn. Holds 150 chickens. And it looks like a small little barn, you know. Yeah, maybe homestead's not the right word, but I kind of like the name because just of the appearance I got. It looks a little bit more old and rustic and homesteady-ish, and that's my opinion. Everybody's got their opinion. That's what's good about this game. Alright, we got all the straw. Yeah, all the straw is picked up. So now we can fertilize that field and get it ready for a next crop. We really need those sugar beets to be ready to harvest, so then I can reconsider the layout of these fields. Or we're gonna be cutting this large grass field here, cutting this thing into half and having 2 more crop fields. That's what we might do. But let's get to fertilizing the oat field. Oh, I've got a frog in my throat this morning. I'm recording this part of this episode on Thursday morning, everybody. Hopefully in the goals of getting you another episode out for Friday morning. We'll see. This is potentially going to be a shorter episode, I believe. And I'm going to do some more off-camera play and, you know, just kind of get things going. Okay, now I'm not sure if that's putting it down, so we're not fertilized over here. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, we are fertilized over there. Alright, cool. It is recognizing it then. Alright. I really enjoy putting this manure down here. So thank you to Crustu for letting me use my idea of wanting to implement a little manure buy point, because that's all I can buy from it really is manure. And I don't have the appropriate amount of livestock to produce the own manure to utilize on our own fields. So I just think it's okay. It's a different way to do fertilization, and I've never really done it before. So yeah, kind of enjoying that whole process of being able to fertilize these fields with my manure spreader here now. Haven't done any fertilizing contracts though, because I don't know if you can do fertilizing contracts with manure. I guess I've never tried. I've been doing tons of mowing contracts. They seem to be pretty good on this map here, or this area of Ladyhill. So probably be doing some more mowing contracts, really hoping for some more harvesting contracts, because then I can take the bonus crop from those harvesting contracts and utilize it here on our little farm. But I think, everybody, I'm going to check the time for this episode. Apologies if this is really short, but excuse me, I think that this potentially may only be somewhere around 30 or 40 minutes. So, hope you enjoy it. I got a lot more ideas to come with this gameplay here in this challenge. So please continue to follow, and hope you are enjoying it. Oh, another announcement. I put up on YouTube yesterday, on Wednesday, the break day in the recording for this episode, that I'm going to do a giveaway. So if the channel receives 2,500 subscribers, everybody, before Christmas, we're going to give something away to the viewers that live in the States. Now, what I haven't posted yet, which I'm going to post today, I believe, is our friend Farmer King George, everybody, from across the pond, had a great idea. And so thank you to Farmer King George, and make sure you go check out Farmer King George on YouTube. What about doing a PayPal donation to a winner that lives across the pond? And it just happens to be, I do have PayPal, so I will probably do a PayPal donation to one winner across the pond as well. So if you want a chance to win a giveaway from RustyMoney Gaming, and you don't have PayPal, now's your time to get PayPal. But anyway, everybody, we're going to leave it here. And hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you in the next one, everybody. Have a good one. Thank you, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and comment.